So Dow Jones is the strongest, no doubt, because creating a new high, all-time high, just keep going up. Followed by Russell 2000. So Russell 2000 just break out previous high, consolidation. So that's looking very constructive, and followed by the S&P 500. So generating a routing come and handle line pattern. So that's a very small one. So that's pending a breakout and testing of the previous high. The laggards is Nasdaq 100. So I'm not surprised because right now tech is still under a lot of the pressure. So it makes sense for Nasdaq 100 to just stay within the trading range. So that's also one of the relatively bullish scenario rather than a breakdown. So if you look at the trading range, this is still testing the top part of the trading range. So if you think of this middle line as the minor supports, it is still testing, so without breaking down. So even under the worst case, it's breakdown and coming back down to test the previous swing low somewhere around 28,000. It's still not that bearish yet. So it simply means that this is likely going to be a prolonged trading range. However, Dow Jones just making a higher high, higher low, up channel, uptrend throughout, and similarly, Russell 2000 is also pending a breakout, and that's very constructive because there are a ton of the stocks in Russell 2000. So Dow Jones has only 30 stocks, but Russell 2000 there are many of the small mid cap stocks and indices. So this is very encouraging. S&P 500 still right now moving up, going into the previous all-time high level, testing the swing high hopefully. And let me just zoom into the S&P 500. So let me just delete this. Okay, let's be cleaner. So right now we do have a trading range just from this time frame alone. So medium term, this is still stuck within a trading range with decreasing of the supply. Not too bad. And last week, since the breakout of the downtrend line here, so that's on Monday bar. So last Monday, we have a breakout of this immediate downtrend line, suggesting that the swing is to the upside. However, for the past few sessions, there's not much movement showing up. So mainly it's just a few doji bars. So on Wednesday, on Thursday, that's doji. Yesterday, just breakout. Sorry, not breakout. Just gap up. So gap up Monday, and it's likely going to test the swing high level, previous swing high level, close to 76.40. And in terms of the volatility, here is a very obvious change of character bar with a lot of the white big bearish bar to the downside, and followed by next reaction. So if we think this is volatile, reaction 1 versus reaction 2. So reaction 2 is a lot shallower in terms of the progress to the downside, and in terms of the volatility is also lesser. So this is definitely a constructive sign for the bullish scenario, and hence we got a breakout attempt to go up. So if we test this previous swing high level followed by another reaction, and under a bullish scenario, I would like to see a relatively shallow pullback, or best is to have just consolidation rather than a pullback. So this is certainly a pullback, go all the way back and break below. This is much better reaction. Okay, tested the support at 7400 rather than go back to test 7300. And next round, if there is a rejection at the top at the resistance level, not breaking out, then I would like to see something like this. So shallow pullback or consolidation. And this is just a textbook style volatility contraction pattern from 1 to 2, and 3 is yet to show up. So it's just sort of anticipate what kind of the bullish scenario can it turn out to be. And in terms of the volume, as long as it's somewhere around here, generally some low volume, that should be very constructive. I don't want to see supply like this. So that's really just a previous high supply level, and certainly not the spike of the supply like the previous change of character down wave. Okay, so in terms of the immediate swing, short-term swing, the swing is still up from this downswing and into this upswing. So this upswing is still unfolding. I'm actually expecting a final push, a further push to test the previous swing high level somewhere around 76.40 before we see another downswing pullback, and hopefully it could stay at a maybe 75.50 somewhere around here to consolidate, and pending a breakout to test the all-time high level again. And in terms of the volume for the past few sessions, relatively low volume with doji bar. So this two doji bar here, and this is not much progress either. So that suggests that there isn't much supply show up yet. Okay, so that is still not too bad. And here is the origin of the sell-off begin, or origin of the widespread bearish momentum bar. So it makes sense for selling to show up at this level. So for example, here this bar we get a strong bearish bar, and here another rejection tail. So here is also another rejection tail. So this is a level like 7600 is the level that we could anticipate some kind of the rejection. So it's been tested first time, quite a strong rejection. Second time here, not too bad. At least yesterday we got a another attempt to push through, and right now as of today this is still unfolding 7600. But in terms of the reaction of the 7600 level, I think this is encouraging. So suggest that it's likely going to overshoot this 7600 and into the previous swing high level, and we need to see what kind of direction will we get out from this previous all-time high level, and then to make another judgment. So right now swing is still up, and watch out for potential reaction at the previous all-time high level. Support for the S&P 500 is likely at 7500. Okay, so previously the minor support level was at 7400, and now the support was lifted at 7500. So as long as it is above 7500, it's likely going to go up, test the previous all-time high level 7640, and also beyond. So let's see how far it can travel